Don't tell the boss. We're starting cocktail hour a little early tonight. What do you have here?
We're going to have a little lesson.
Yes.
This is a Merlot from Vichon, a Merlot grape. You pick it up by the stem.
Okay.
I already blew that,
Okay. Twirl it around. When they do that, you know what they're trying to look at there?
What?
The body.
The body.
In other words, the density of the wine. Put your nose in. The bouquet. Little lesson there.
Smells wonderful.
Things we learn. Okay, a little more. When it comes to wine, the consumer has hundreds of types to choose from. Dry versus sweet, sparkling versus still, red versus white. For many, this selection process can be a bit intimidating. But in reality, choosing a wine you like is as simple as a sniff and a taste. What's not simple, however, is making wine. Good wines, that is. Tonight, in part 2 of our visit to the wine country, we'll take you through the intricate art of winemaking.
Ever since Lucy spent an afternoon stomping the grapes at an Italian winery, I've longed to give it a try. So when we went to Napa Valley in California to participate in Crush 93, I put my best foot forward, so to speak.
And then what do I do? Stomp. When they said I was going to work the fields and make the wine, and realized it was going to be this messy.
And quickly learned in the 90s there's a better, faster, and yes, cleaner way to make wine. Just like a good wine, the story must age, so we'll start at the beginning. The harvest season, which usually runs from late September to early November, is the most exciting time of the year in Napa. It all begins on the fields at the break of dawn. Skilled pickers pull tons of ripened grapes off the vines at warp speeds. Forget machinery, it's all done with only the help of a strong hand and a hook.
Even though you could be standing in the middle of a vineyard and look as far as the eye can see, some of the larger wineries still have to use growers to buy even more grapes for production.
The berries are nice and firm, they're holding up well.
Today, we're picking Cabernet grapes for a winery owned by Robert Mondavi called Vichon. Karen Culler, one of the few female winemakers in the valley, walks the vineyard during the crush to make sure Vichon gets the cream of the crop.
What we want to do is we want to check for flavor, most importantly. So we come out here, about every 3 days, and we taste the grapes, see how they taste, see if they seem mature. We want to not have any of the green flavors. We want to taste nice tannins, or the skin has to taste not real rough.
We chart the sugars by date.
From the field to the lab, assistant winemaker Pam Stevens shows me how to measure the amount of sugar from today's pickings. It's a 3-step process: smash, pour, and measure.
I see about 23. What about 23? Oh, you've got a new career.
Outside, the grapes we picked today are put into a hopper where the stems and fruits are separated. From there, the juice is crushed, pressed, and pumped into fermenting tanks. To make red wine, the skins remain with the juice. For white wine, they're separated.
We fill them up to about 120 gallons, either.
And Vichon cellar master Jim Sagadin takes over, spending his days checking on his precious wines in the cold, dark barrel rooms.
And this is where the wines come after they've been fermented. The white wines will now stay in here in the punch itself for 6 months. They're brought down, and then they're topped and stirred every 2 weeks.
So you want to smell it?
Then it's time for winemaker Karen Culler's professional palate to take charge. She's the one who decides when the wine is ready for blending and then finally bottling.
Tasty, huh?
No, she hasn't lost her manners. Spitting is the rule when you're tasting wines all day long.
And you definitely want to spit out everything that you taste, because you'll end up getting wasted by the end of the day.
A sobering fact for this winemaker, whose definition of good taste is right on the tip of her tongue.
Tomorrow night, you'll meet the 41 Crush participants, and we'll bring you through graduation as we, including yours truly, become official winemakers. Well, sort of. That story tomorrow on Eyewitness News at 5:30. And I'll tell you something else. It is important to spit, because we were out there, our photographer Helen Harbison and I were out there all day, and you taste those wines, you got to get it out.
You got to get it out.
What? Go ahead.
Well, at the restaurant, they put the cork right next to your glass. What are you supposed to do?
Winemakers say that's a total fallacy, that they tell you to smell it and, oh, you can get all the flavors. No, the only way you can really do it is by shaking the glass.
This is a 1990,
yes,
and it costs what?
$18 to $22, and the 93 vintage, which was going to be our vintage, is, of course, coming out in 3 years, the Cabernet.
And much better, I'm sure. Lisa, thanks. That does it for us.